Okay, for the question 1A, I use the hypothesis 1 tell upper. Okay, the step 1, we need to know the hypothesis and then the level of significance alpha equal to 5%, and then the test statistic we need to calculate for the sample mean response time. The formula is equal average, mu is 3000, then sample standard deviation as the formula is equal to SDEB.S, and then for the number of observation for sample, the formula is equal to count. And then for the n square root, the formula is equal to SQRT. So for calculate the t-test, the sample mean response time minus to the mu, divide in bracket sample standard deviation, divide the n square root. Okay, so for the determine the decision rule, we need to find the critical t-test and p-value. So for the critical t-test, formula is equality dot INB, and then for the p-value, the formula is equal 1 minus t dot dist. So for the conclusion, we can see the critical value is greater than t-test, and then for the p-value is greater the alpha. So the conclusion is there is no sufficient evidence to support the claim that the sample mean response greater than 3000. Okay, for the question 1B, I use the hypothesis ANOVA single factor. Okay, for the step 1, we need to select the data and then sort it. After you sort it, we click the data analysis, and then in the analysis tools, click the ANOVA single factor and then click OK. Okay, for the input range, you select the data that you already sort, and then click the column, click the label in first row, and click the new worksheet, and then you click OK. So after you click OK, the table will be shown in your sheet. So we just need to analyze. Okay, for this question, for the critical f test is critical value is greater than f test. For the p-value is greater than alpha. So for the conclusion, there is no sufficient difference exists in vacation number per year among customers with different level of education.
For question 1C chapter 5, we use pivot table. First, click on insert tab and then click on pivot table. Then select the table, choose where you want the pivot table report to be placed, and then click OK. After that, arrange the table by drag relationship status to row and education to column and count of respondent to value. Then we get this table. Next, we duplicate the table by copy and paste the table to get the observed value. Next, to get the estimate value, we use this formula. Next, we find the chi-square. We use F0 minus Fe square root divided by Fe. After that, we find the chi-square degree of freedom by row minus 1 times column minus 1. For the test statistic, we pick the number in grand total. For the critical value, we use this formula, and for p-value, we use this formula, and another p-value, we use the formula. So the conclusion is the preference of type of education level and marital status are not related.